Hi, friends. Doc South with you, and we just a Saturday afternoon I've got here where yeah, no, I'm not working anywhere, no DJ gig, supermarket. Well, I got in my hours this week already, so I don't know. I'm just kind of knocking out videos, doing some paperwork, trying to get up the nerve to do my taxes, stuff like that. But the longest time now, this one story's been sticking in my head, and I think I've certainly told this story when I did my radio shows about a metalworking plant I used to visit. Oh gosh, this was years ago again when I was doing boiler work. Gosh, 35, a good 35 years ago. This was a plant near, let me think, it was near Scranton, actually between Scranton and Nicholson, PA. There's, I don't know if the place is still there. I guess they'd have no reason not to be. But what they did, they made, as near as I can tell, they made highly specialized machinery parts. And one thing they were especially good at was making the drive shafts for ships. Yep. They would, I guess what you do when you got a ship, you need something to go from the propeller, point B, to I guess, the transmission. A ship needs a drive shaft. Yeah. Evidently, they don't do it with belts. They somehow, I guess if either they've got a diesel engine spinning like crazy, spinning the drive shaft, or they've got steam. They've got boilers going, and like that, and the steam goes into a turbine and starts. Depending on how much steam they put through the turbine, depends. Will transmit down to the propeller. More steam, the faster the propeller goes. The point is that the the thing, I've never been down in the hold of a ship to go see what the whole deal is, but the point is they need a drive shaft, and they're usually made of very high grade steel. I'm pretty sure stainless, at least the ones I saw at this plant. I remember asking the guy, he said, "No, that's stainless steel, Doc." I said, "Stainless steel? Is that thing solid?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "My God, how do you, God, love a duck? That's got to be a fortune." It is a fortune. He says, "If the ship sinks, it's almost worth your while to go down and get that drive shaft and bring it back." But he says, "Let's hope they don't sink." And that's what these people did, drive shafts, and I believe for ships. Maybe also specialized ones that might transmit from a steam turbine to perhaps a process in a factory, I guess, too. But this one I was looking at one day, I was there again checking their boiler, and I would say the shaft was, I'm thinking 40 feet long, maybe longer. Okay, yeah, it was big. It was big. It was like as if they cut a tree made of stainless steel. I'd say about this around. So what am I looking? I'm holding about 2 foot, and it was certainly more than a foot, and I would say less than 2 foot in diameter. Let's say 18 inches. And again, if memory serves me right, and I think it does, this baby was a good 40 feet long. Oh my God, what that must have weighed. Boy, don't drop that on your toe. It'll ruin your whole day. The whole thing I can say. And there was a guy, I'm in the place again, checking the boiler, and I'm looking over my shoulder at this guy. They had a drive shaft on what looked to be like a rack. It wasn't so much a rack. It was attached on one end, on another end, and I believe there was a little bit of support in the middle to kind of, yeah, there was various bearings to support it. But yeah, I think most of the weight was on both ends, but some of the weight was taken off by result of the bearings holding up on it. Okay, and there was one guy in a white coat and and he had, and basically he was walking up, and he had glasses on, and he had some dials. He was running with, there was like a board with dials on it, and he's running it, and what he's doing is he's got some kind of like switch that will turn the thing just a little and a little and a little, maybe like that, like that, like that, and then maybe around a bit, and he's got all these dials that he's looking at, and every now and then he gets out a ball peen hammer, just yeah, like you'd use in to because you couldn't find your regular hammer, to hammer one lousy little tack in the wall, and he's going ding, ding, ding like that, and then he spins it. He hits the button to spin it. I said, my God. And he goes ding, ding, ding. Then he's over here, ding. Then he flips it a little, ding, ding. And I'm thinking, what the God's name is he doing? I ask a guy, I say, hey, buddy, come here. He says, yeah, what do you want, Doc? I said, that guy with that stainless steel drive shaft up there, he has he gone nuts or something? What's he trying to do up there? He keeps dinging at the drive shaft. And the guy says, well, he's straightening it. I said, yeah. He's straightening that with isn't it already straight? He says, well, no, it needs adjusting. It might be off by a little bit, but yeah, that's what he's doing. He's straightening it. I said, that can't be. I mean, you'd need a sledgehammer. Yeah, look at that thing. That's solid stainless steel, right? This guy says, yeah, as near as I know, sure. Might be a little hollow in the middle, but no, that's stainless. It's straight. Well, he says it can't be too straight because he's straightening it. I said, well, the guy said, look, if it's off even at the speeds, that thing's going to rotate. And he says sometimes it's going pretty fast. You can't have it. It's got to be straight, or it's going to start a vibration, and that vibration will go through the whole ship. Number one, if that's a ship that's perhaps with the Navy, has to travel silently, the last thing you need is a jing, 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 jing going through the, yeah, and he says if they go to high speed, that thing starts going real fast. Pretty soon, it's vibrating loose, might burn out a bearing, and then they're dead in the water. Geez, you don't want that, do you? I said, but how in God's name does it can't be, and the guy says, Doc, I can't explain it to you. You got to find someone who can tell you. That guy's busy. He's getting about $200 an hour, so don't bother him. He's straightening it. Leave him alone. You're going to have to look this up. I can't explain it to you, but I know that hammer is doing it. And so anyway, I go home. I go to the home office where I do where I worked out of in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And I go up to my boss, Charlie, and I explain the situation like I did to you. I said, Charlie, he's got a scam going. He's $200 an hour, and he's walking around this. I explained the chef, and he's just dinging it with a ball peen. Charlie says, no, that's how you'd straighten it, especially at those levels. He said, yeah, if it was off by 2 inches, you'd probably bend it somehow. But he says, it's already darn near straight, but even 1/1000th of an inch, 2/1000ths, 5/1000ths of an inch is too much. It would, like those guys told you. But he says, you know what they're doing, Doc? He says he's finding a certain spot, and if he hits it, he knows from experience, if he hits it there, it will start a crystalline change in that particular part of the metal. And that may be enough to pull it back into alignment. That's what he does. And then once they got it straight, I'm assuming that they bind it up pretty good and ship it. And probably when they get to evidently the guy's got to prove that it can be straight. And then I imagine when the thing's finally installed in the ship, he probably straightens it again. And they get it all lined up in its bearings and such, and that thing will run smooth as pie. Won't make a sound. Ah. I say, and Charlie says, you didn't know all this about the crystalline, how the structure, how the darn thing. I said, no. He said, well, now you do. I said, well, yeah. Anyway, so scratching my head, I figured a life lesson in there somewhere. Evidently, you don't always need a sledgehammer. That's kind of what these blurps I do for you are. They're designed to be, they're really, truth be known, they're nothing special. They're just me talking to you. But I try to put something positive into each one. Just a little ding. And, aimed at maybe one of these blurps, just like that guy. Maybe one of those little hits with the ball peen straightens out that shaft so it runs perfect or better. And maybe some of these blurps I do will get you into the habit of looking for blurps of your own, or maybe a life lesson there which gets you, maybe just gets you over a pickle you're in or a problem that faces you. That's sort of what I do. And my main goal, of course, is to get you to into a happier frame of mind, given the life you've been given. That's what I'm trying to do. So, anyway, ding. Okay, I'll see you later, friends. Again, that's sort of what the deal is. I'll catch you later, and hey, maybe, it's funny, but little good deeds all here and there done. When it's all said and done, they sometimes they have a way of spreading to the whole darn shaft, and that's kind of what I'm doing for you here. All right, see you later. Thank you. God bless. Bye now.